Welcome. Here we are, the Bible Prophecy KJV 1611 Church. We are in the book of Isaiah, and we are now in chapter 8. And we got a mixture here also. We got talk of the demise of Syria and Israel, but we also have the innuendo of the protection that shoots all the way to the last days through Jesus Christ. So be looking for that as we read, because remember, it's a timeless battle. And the Lord, when He speaks, He talks about the beginning and the ending, the Alpha and the Omega. And so that's all intermingled in this war against Satan that we are still in to this very day. So here we are in chapter 8 in the book of Isaiah. Verse 1. Moreover, the Lord said unto me, Take thee a great roll, and write in it with a man's pen concerning Maher Shalal Hashbaz. And I took unto me faithful witnesses to record Uriah the priest, and Zechariah the son of Zeberachiah. 3. And I went unto the prophetess, and she conceived, and bare a son. Then said the Lord to me, Call his name Maher Shalal Hashbaz. 4, it says, For before the child shall have knowledge to cry, my father and my mother, the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be taken away before the king of Assyria. Okay, so there's one prophecy about being cut down. All the wealth taken away. 3, we got a new paragraph. The Lord spake also unto me again, saying, I'm in the new paragraph in verse 5. The Lord spake also unto me again, saying, For so much as this people refuseth the waters of Shiloah, that go softly, and rejoice in Rezin and Remaliah's son. Okay, now Shiloh, we all know that was the place of the prophets there. Okay, and notice people are refusing the waters that are offered in this, even back in this day. 7, it says, Now therefore, behold, the Lord bringeth up upon them the waters of the river strong and many, even the king of Assyria, and all his glory, and he shall come up over all his channels, and go over all his banks. Folks, this is where you got to watch out in Old English, in the Bible. Many times an overflowing army is symbolized in the prophetic language as an overflowing river. And anybody that's been around a river, when it overflows, there is no stopping it, folks. It can come up and just wipe everything out in its way. So that is a similitude at times, not all the time. Many times it's a regular flood, okay? But many times it's called a flood of war. And it represents an overflowing army, as in this case. 8. And he shall pass through Judah. He shall overflow. He shall overflow and go over. He shall reach even to the neck, and the stretching out of his wings shall fill the breadth of thy land, O Emmanuel. So there's the term, Emmanuel. So you see how this has to do with the last days. There's going to be an overflowing army, much like the Assyrian army here in the last days, only it's going to be bigger worldwide. And notice that Christ is here protecting the saints in all this. Okay, 9 is a new paragraph. Associate yourselves, O ye people, and ye shall be broken in pieces. And give ear, all ye of far countries. Gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Now notice that's twice. Once back for the destruction through the Nebuchadnezzar army, but also in the last days. Notice the far countries here are all associating themselves. See, there's a confederacy. And this has to do with that second sickle in Revelations, the one that gathers all the armies into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Armageddon. 10. Take counsel together, and it shall come to naught. Speak the word, and it shall not stand, for God is with us. Okay, you see how this type of conflict here is being compared to the old conflict back there, only this time, Mystery Babylon's going to be destroyed. All right? The fact is that it is a worldwide conspiracy. Today in Mystery Babylon, there are 10 unseen merchant kings that will give their power to the beast for 1 hour. Notice here in 10, though, it uses the English term for that name, Emmanuel. And it's telling you that the world's armies, this conspiracy with the Antichrist and the devil, will not stand there in 10. 10, the number of unseen merchant kings in the world, the number of multinational corporations in the world, the 10 toes of the book of Daniel, for God is with us. 11 starts another new paragraph. For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, all right, here they are trying to all be one like the days of Babylon with the Tower of Babel in 12. Here it is. Listen to this. He's telling the prophet, say ye not a confederacy to all them, to whom this people shall say, a confederacy. Neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. See, that's for us today, folks. 13, sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. Okay, so there it is. We can have the hedge of protection as long as we have faith. Okay, despite the worldwide conspiracy of the satanic leaders. Fear only the Lord. What about him? As we fear him, in 14, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Okay, they're talking about Christ. Okay, this is quoted not only in Isaiah 28:16, but in the New Testament, Luke 2:34, Romans 9:33, Peter 2:7. See, Christ is that rock of offense, the cornerstone, the one in Daniel that smashes Mystery Babylon to smithereens there. And not only Daniel's prophecy, but in King Nebuchadnezzar himself's prophecy. Okay, so you see how, even though we're discussing the Nebuchadnezzar destruction and punishment of the people of the world, including Judah, Israel, Jerusalem, yet it goes to the last days, and the fight's still going on over Judah, Israel, Jerusalem, and the world. And here, to the people that have other doctrines, Christ is a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense. Remember what I said about that term, offended. Are you offended by Christ? Well, what did they say there in the New Testament? The harlots go into heaven before you do, because they're not offended at Christ. But you religious idiots that believe in mysticism and the Babylonian Talmud and the Jewish Talmud and the Kabbalah and all those Zoroastrian and pantheism and all those religions, you're offended at Christ, aren't you? Okay, now this goes right here to Christ's time, all the way through today, all the way to the second coming and beyond. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. All right, so that's the trouble with people leaning on the world. 16, bind up the testimony. Seal the law among my disciples. How does that sound? Hey, that sounds just like the New Testament. You got that right. 17, more that sounds just like the New Testament. And I will wait upon the Lord that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Okay, so there we go. There's going to be a remnant that even though they're being punished, even though they're being cast down, even when they were taken to Babylon, even when they were drug around the world, they're still going to know their Messiah. 18, behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. Okay, see how this is going? It's going right into the future here. And that's for me and you. We are for signs and wonders in Israel. Okay? And notice here, you got it now in 18, it goes straight to Christ. Behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me, see, are for signs. Who gave Christ all his sheep? The Father gave them to the Son. And the Son ain't going to lose any of them. He knows how to correct you. He knows how to smack you down. He knows how to lift you up. He will not lose his sheep. That's a guarantee. So that goes all the way to where the Lord's dwelling in Mount Zion. And that hasn't happened yet, but it will. 19, new paragraph. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits. Okay, there's the Kabbalah. There is all the mysticism and the pantheism and everything having a spirit and a demon. And we got like John Dee, the great sorcerer that she advised Elizabeth and everyone, John Dee, those aren't demons. They're just angels I'm contacting, etc. All those people. The ones worshiping the sun, the moon, worshiping Osiris, On, the priest of On, See, that's familiar spirit. You summons these spirits by one form or another. We've went into all that. We get to know that demonic spirit or fallen angel, and through that spirit we get power. We get prophecies, even though a lot of them are tricks. They don't come true. Many of them do come true. Okay, it's being intimate sexually also with these devils. And unto wizards like John Dee. And unto wizards that peep and that mutter. Okay, that's where they fall into the trance. Like the phony tongues that these so-called Christian groups do. You can't understand them. They flop around like in a trance. Just like the African witch doctors that fall into the trance. They peep into the ashes of a victim. They peep into a crystal. And they mutter. They talk in these tongues. Okay, but then it goes on. Should not a people seek after their God? Question mark. For the living? To the dead? Question mark. Okay, I'm going to read it all again. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek after their God? For the living? To the dead? Question mark. All right, the translators are sending us to Hebrews 2:13 here in verse 20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And we discussed the real light, not the dark light, not the yin and yang light, the mixed light that Satan puts out. This is the true light that gives one understanding and wisdom, not the phony earthly demonic wisdom, but real wisdom that lasts forever. Okay, no wonder they sent us back to Hebrews 2:13 for that. 21. And they shall pass through it, hardly bestead and hungry, and it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their God, and look upward. And they shall look unto the earth, and behold trouble and darkness, dimness of anguish, and they shall be driven to darkness. So, you worldly people, you want to stay worldly, that world is going to get dark here in this chapter, in chapter 8 of the book of Isaiah. It's very fascinating how this progressed by having that prophecy, Emmanuel, in these last two chapters, and then here it goes right into the last days, and the translators of the King James Bible, they're sitting there just sending us to the New Testament. It is fantastic. All right, folks, on we go to chapter 9. See you there.